Alright, so for today I'm going to be teaching you how to play on Halluf. Now this is going to be a bit different because last time I did this type of video I played in a tier 8 tank, but this is going to be a tier 10 gameplay and it's obviously only tier 10, so we're top tier but we're also bottom tier. So in this game, on this map, the way it works, I'm going to pause it right here to make a point. The south doesn't matter. Really, there's two flanks on this map. There's the south and the north, like the B2C, like this flank that I'm going to, and the south. And the south doesn't work. I will never take a tank south on this map, and the reason I never do that is because on either side, there's always going to be some guy who's in a TD who's going to sit here all game that you're putting yourself below, and all it takes is one shot for him to take away half your HP. So I don't really like that type of thing. I don't like putting myself below a camping TD. And really all it takes is one guy to lock you down when you play the south. So the only other alternative on this map is going to be the C2, B2, B3 side area, I guess you can call it. And I will sort of play this uniquely. So what I do when I drive into this side, I don't really care about my teammates. As long as someone's coming with me, that's all that matters when I'm rushing to this location. I will cross and I'll take the quickest route possible unless I get a really shitty spawn. And the way I do this, you can see right here, I have a lot of speed and I will blind fire right here, this sort of crossing. The reason I do that is because, anyone who's played this map knows you cross right here to get into the positions like the B2, B3, A3 positions. So, I mean, I'm late, right? I'm 30 seconds late. There's probably going to be no one there, but it doesn't hurt for me to shoot. I'm going to get lit anyway as I do this crossing, so I figure might as well take a shot. And in this game, it actually pays off. I ended up hitting an IS-7 right there, which is the first time I've ever really done that, but it's not like you're gonna run out of shells consistently, right? So especially in a tank with 390 alphas. So that's just my experience. Now, once I get to this location, what I'll do is I will pop up to here, and a lot of the times I'll just hold my right mouse button and look around. Right now, I'm going to pause it because, just before I saw that back shot on the map, what I do is I see who's with me. This is sort of when I gauge how long I can stay. The reason you need to see who's with you is because if you've got 8 heavies camping base, I mean, we've got an AFK Leopard and a Kronvan right now. If we had more people who were sniping with the 183, I would not be able to stay here when they've got 2 IS-4s, 2 IS-7s, 257, all those tanks are going to be on this side, and if I was alone, I'm not going to beat them. So it's really important to play to your team. You can see what I've done is I've zoomed out. The reason I do this is so I don't have to watch my map, and I can just sort of watch this flank out of the corner of my eye and watch this one at the same time. So this is how I'll play right at the beginning, is I'll just zoom out and I'll wait for something to happen. You can see the E50Ms, they poke on me, they end up both tracking me, I get one shot of free damage, burn a repair kit, and this is how I'm going to play. I'm going to be looking for shots on people who are reloading. You can see I guaranteed the first shot right there. We're a minute 15 seconds into the game, and now is when you can see an IS-7 starts to cross. So he was down some HP. That's the guy I hit, I'm pretty sure, but the blind shot worked for once. So yeah, basically we're just going to sort of repeat this entire gameplay strategy all game. I'm going to be looking for opportunities. I'm going to be shooting at people who are reloading, people who are out of position, they're moving, things like that. Because this vehicle, and let's face it, most tier 10 mediums will not have the armor to brawl with people who are aiming at them. So what you can see me doing, if someone's moving, if someone's reloading, or if someone doesn't look like they're even looking at me, I will take a shot at them. But the second someone looks at me, unless later in the game I decide to start becoming a team player, I won't take hits, because it's just not worth the risk. You're going to take a hit. Most people can out alpha you. Just don't trade shots in your mediums. Shoot people who are reloading, looking away, or on the move. That's just my advice. So right here you can see what's happening is they're sort of rushing. I mean, they're not playing this well, but I'm not complaining at the same time. What you can see my team has done, I want to point this out, is they're extremely aggressive. Now this push, this soon in the game with their lineup, almost never works, and I'll tell you why. It's because there's going to be one guy right up here who's most of the time who's going to be farming your teammates. So we've got a 113 and an E5 who are probably going to be getting wrecked by these guys up here, or up here in their base, and they're also going to be busy getting shot at by these guys who are fighting for their lives. So I don't like to join that push this early. I only do it when I have enough HP. So I can take a hit from some guy who's in their base. Generally, I assume it's a TD with 750 alpha. So right here, you can see They're pushing into the E50Ms. They're not winning. I need to help out this IS-7. There's a mouse who pushed into the open, and these guys are going to die if I don't kill the mouse. That's just the reality of it. The IS-7, the Kronvan, they're not going to win that fight unless I help them out. So what I'm doing is I'm, making sure I can sort of suppress that mouse. I want to get him away from my teammates. And same thing with the IS-4, because immediately you can see this 113's down all his HP, he's been clicked, and now we only have 3 teammates right here against like a good 6, if you count all these guys here. So there's a lot of potential for things to go wrong right now, and I'm just sort of trying to do my best to keep my teammates alive. This is why I don't like to commit super early, because you can see how powerful this position is. I'm able to support my teammates. So you can see this mouse is doing is he's making a bit of a mistake. He's leaving cover. He's going to use a tank for hull down, but he doesn't angle his turret or anything like that. You can see he's looking at me, so I'm going to back off. He shot the Object 140 there. It looks like he was shooting HE, so I was glad I didn't take that hit. And it's just going to continue with this gameplay. Now, at this point in time, I noticed there's a Leopard in our base. I'm not doing this because I feel like the 183 needs a hand. He's a full HP 183. I'm doing it because I know the Leopard 1's going to be distracted. He's farming an AFK, and you can see I was able to put like 2 shots into him. I actually think I picked up the kill right here. Now this is interesting. I have to prioritize. I'd love to be keeping my teammates alive right now, but the problem is if the 121 kills the 183, I'm going to have a 121 farming me from behind, and I just can't deal with that. So I know the 183 is calling for help. I can't help him right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for shots. I'm sort of trying to help out 2 sides at once from this position. And I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but it sort of works out. This is what this position does for you. You can support your base from here, but you can also support your teammates who are trying to win, the northern flank. So right here, what's happening, again, we're trying to deal with this mouse. He's about to die. Everyone's just shooting his turret with heat because he isn't angling it. You can see I miss an easy shot. He fires HE at me and misses. You're going to notice I'm constantly checking because I don't want that 121 shooting me in the rear. I'm about to push up. I decide against it because I see the 121 has fallen down. So I see an opportunity to kill that guy who's obviously going to be a pain in the ass. And I think I miss an easy shot right here. Yeah, it goes low, but whatever. So you can see this is the type of situational awareness you need when you're playing on this tank, because the reality is if you make a mistake, you're going to come around a corner and you're just going to get blopped by 8 heavies who are just sort of, being heavies. You're not built for this type of fight when you're in this tank and you're playing on this map. So, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. Now, right here, you can see the 121's going for Artie. I'm just going to be honest. I really didn't care if the Artie died or not. I was just doing this because I didn't want a 121 shooting my actual teammates who are in actual tanks, behind me. So I didn't want him to get behind like the E5 and drag the E5 out of this fight, because obviously this fight is huge. So it's at about this time, once the 121 dies, that I'm like, oh, well, fuck, I'm full HP. Look at all my one-shot teammates. So what I'm going to decide to do is I'm going to start to use my HP to secure this fight. You can see we're up on tank numbers right here, but a lot of our teammates, 3 of us are 3 of them are practically 1-shots. This guy's a 2-shot, and then we've got 2 1-shots and then a low HP grill. So one thing that a lot of medium tank players forget to do is they forget to use their hit points. You can use those. If you're full HP, who cares? You can use the hit points to kill people. So I'm going to do that on this IS-4. I don't care if he shoots me at the end of the day. As long as I can take him out of the fight and give our team a better chance at winning, that's what I'm going to do. So what you can see me doing is I'm trying to shoot him twice for every time he shoots. Eventually, there's the 57's going to YOLO. So I take a hit here, I put a shot into the IS-4, but I'm going to focus down the 57 because currently he's the greatest threat to my team. So you're going to see I'm going to finish him off, going to back off, the IS-4 bounces, and it's sort of like at this point in time we've won the game. There's a bat shot behind me, and the only reason I saw him was because I looked at the map. So I'm going to talk about something right here. A lot of tanks can't shoot over their engine deck. You're going to see this is a really awkward position for me to be in because I'm not going to have the gun depression to hit this guy. So what I do is I sort of tilt my tank. You're going to see me do that in a sec here. What I'm doing is I'm tilting my tank. That's going to give me more gun depression. So this slope flattens out my tank, and that gives me the ability to try to shoot the bat shot. And that's just something I've sort of learned to do through hundreds of mistakes. But you can see I miss the shot. I repair it. I start to run away because I don't want to get clipped out. But that's what I tried to do to kill that bat shot. And, you're welcome to use slopes, especially on this map right here, to give you gun depression. To give you gun depression to shoot at things. I think that's the first time I've ever done that in a video. But, that's the how this map works. You can see the 183 is going to kill the bat shot, and from here it's pretty much game. I mean, there's a Jagdpanzer who shoots at me. During the stream I was like, I'm going to get clicked, and immediately after that I get clicked. But for the most part, this game's over. You can see the Yag isn't looking at me. I'm able to pen him. Now it's just a matter of killing their campers. So yeah, I mean, let's go take a look at the end plates. All right, so we're going to do a strat sketch, but here you can see that was a master badge, 94,000 credits, 3,600 XP. Probably lost credits on that one. You can see in the end, I ended up putting a shot into their last E50 M alive, but I ended up doing 7,331 damage. That's because I hit a blind shot on this guy, I believe. So, you know, it's an option. You can definitely try that blind shot if you'd like. You can see I finished top on the team for damage. It's sort of hard not to do if you get nearly 7k damage. So, I mean, yeah, same with XP. Lost credits. I mean, I spammed that mouse full of heat, but, you know, I'm not going to pretend I don't use heat. Basically, the way this map works, and, you know, don't blame me for the way this map was designed, is that you only have one option, right? When you go to the south, you can see they pushed through the south, but did it work out for them? I mean, 2 tier 10 mediums came behind us, and it was still shitty, right? Like, their best player would have been to get on cap, but they didn't. I mean, typically you won't find that great of players in the south, so, I mean, the south doesn't work. They tried it, they ended up pushing through, and they still lost, so, if you like to play the south, the only thing you can really do is scout, and maybe try to get into here to scout the people right here. That would be my advice, but really, this whole map revolves around this fight right here, and you know, that's just unfortunate. There's nothing I can do about it, but you can see my entire fighting is done from this area right here, pretty much. The reason I do that is because it's safe. It's very easy to run away from, and a lot of the times it's very easy to overcommit on this map because, like I said, the second you get to here and you start poking on these guys and stuff, this TD way back here has a shot on you, and so it's very difficult to actually do well when you're pushing into this map. So it's just the way it is. You have to be super defensive. Like, I mean, you could argue that I was being aggressive, but I was being aggressive defensively, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, that's my experience with this map. It's pretty frustrating, I know, but that's the way Wargaming's designed it. So, you know, just focus on winning this side of the map, and basically once you've done that, you've won the majority of games you're going to play. The rest is going to be end game carries, but that's another topic entirely. The end game is when the south becomes viable. By the way, if you know that they're all, like, all the enemy is here, or let's pretend I was playing this spawn and their whole team was like camping here, then I could play the south and I would have to hope there's no one here. But the reality is, when they've got 15 tanks pushing into this, and then having these guys, I mean, just like I did to them, right? When they tried to push into our base and I was here, I could shoot them. It doesn't work. When there's 15 tanks alive, or even 10, it's very difficult to push into people's bases on any map, let alone this one, which stacks everything against you. So I would suggest focusing on winning this fight, and then once that's done, you know, use your tank's mobility. That's generally when there's a lot of space freed up on the maps, instead of just sort of hoping that there isn't going to be a guy here and there isn't going to be a guy here who just camps you out while you're trying to push up. So, you know, that's my experience. I hope it was helpful. If you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, thanks for watching.